Good morning and welcome to Rise and 9. It is Tuesday, January 13th.
Yeah, and a warm Tuesday again. Yesterday was so nice outside.
I know, I was joking that we look like Valentine's Day today with our dresses. I think it feels like spring, kind of in that mindset.
It absolutely does, yeah. I was walking Walt yesterday and it was just so nice. He had to even stop and lay down. It was so warm out. He's just my scruffy pup.
Yeah, it was so nice outside yesterday and today's going to be even nicer. We're just lucky and need to enjoy it because it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's going to be very cold and chilly this week.
Yeah, but a lot of news to get to today, starting with the Cedar Rapids School District. The board had a work session last night and parents begged the district not to make some of these changes.
Yeah, we had a live stream going with the crew there and I watched part of the live stream before I went to bed last night and the meeting was very much still going on. Waking up and catching up this morning, it went for 5 hours.
Yeah,
it's a long meeting.
Around 5:30 and it was still going well into when we started our 10 o'clock broadcast. And that made a difference because the board is changing the rollout of its timeline.
Yeah, planning to reconsider that timeline. Originally, they were going to vote on at the end of this month and decide kind of some big changes that could close up to 7 schools, also add the intermediate schools where 5th and 6th graders would be in their own buildings together. And this really would change where people go to middle school, where people go to high school, but it would create that direct feeder system that the district wants to implement.
And this is all because of $11 million the district is trying to address in budget cuts, and that's from money that it's not getting accelerated by a drop in enrollment.
Yeah, and the district last night heard from many parents, one after another. And just the snippet that I watched, most parents were concerned about the pace of this rollout, which obviously the district heard since they said they are reconsidering that timeline. Parents were also concerned about, where their kids will go to school. They said they don't have enough information at this point. Some parents said, we chose our house because we wanted to go to a certain school, and a lot of parents had a lot of pride in their schools, even wearing t-shirts, with their child's school name on it. And so, the district heard those concerns and says they will reconsider that timeline.
Right, and we all found out about this just a couple weeks ago, and the district said at a meeting last Monday that it wouldn't announce the schools before this meeting. It announced those late Friday in the day and then had this meeting Monday, so not a whole lot of time for parents to react to this. And it had planned on voting on these changes in 2 weeks from yesterday, but now says, like we mentioned before, that timeline is changing.
Yeah, parents also had questions, about the Pathways program that the district has been talking about implementing as well, where different high schools would focus on different career pathways and how this change could impact that change. And so, a lot of work still yet to be done on this. We'll, of course, stay on top of it and bring you the latest as those changes come.
Yeah, and another thing that happened at a school, there was a school bus crash in Jones County. The Jones County Sheriff said no one is seriously injured. That happened on the drive home from school on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, but Sheriff Graver did speak to, how concerning it is when you first hear school bus crash and kind of how the authorities and emergency responders prepare for the worst. Of course, luckily, this was not the case yesterday.
Right, because there was 25 students on that bus. That's a pretty school bus. And the school district and the sheriff's office both said that with these wet conditions, with the snow melt and a little bit of rain we've gotten, that made the gravel road very soft and squishy. And this happened around a curve too, that the bus just got a little bit too close to the edge, which looking at the pictures, you can see why maybe that was going around the curve. The bus got off the edge and then that gravel road was so soft that it got pulled off and the steep ditch caused it to roll onto its side.
The driver does have some minor injuries, but luckily all of those students were okay. Sounds like the driver is going to ultimately be okay. But yeah, very scary situation yesterday.
Right. It's just, even though there's not snow or cold, that's still impacting the roads from those soft gravels that can be, as we saw from that bus crash, also dangerous to drive on.
Absolutely, yeah. And another school-related story that we are covering today, the Iowa City School District is talking about a complete cell phone ban. They already have some measures in place, of course, the statewide law as well.
Right now, schools are allowed to be used during lunch and between classes. The board plans to hold a vote in March and then implement a policy in August banning cell phones throughout the whole school day. And of course, schools in the state of Iowa with a new state law that went into effect for this school year can't have them during instructional time. That was a new law that was made last year. Governor Reynolds signed it into law in April. But Iowa City was one of the first schools, or the first school, to do this. They started this policy that's current back in last January. So this has been in place for 1 year, and we've heard a lot of feedback. Parents say they like the change, and even some students say that, yeah, I can able to focus more in classes. It's nice not to have the distraction, but something that all schools had to address with that new state law requiring those policies.
Yeah, and the Iowa City Schools said, it has been working, so now they're looking to further that ban. And so, yeah, we'll see what comes of that today and then that vote in March.
Right.
Also in Iowa City, they say they have a deer problem. City leaders say that the deer in town, the number of them, is more than 4 times what is supposed to be a healthy population of deer.
Yeah, and that is 100 deer per square mile. That's actually 4 times their target, which is 25.
Yeah, and those numbers are coming from results from a drone survey and reports from residents. So yeah, our reporter Jocelyn yesterday spoke with Iowa City Assistant Manager Kirk Lehman, and he said, quote, "We did our most recent sharpshoot in 2020. At the time, harvested 500 deer. Even with that intervention, we continue to receive a lot of complaints about property damage, health concerns, tick-borne diseases, all sorts of experience people have in their own yards." And so now the city wants to add a professional sharpshooting season to help bring those numbers down and reduce it so that there's only a need for bow hunting at that point.
Yeah, and the Natural Resource Commission would have to approve that, and if they would, that would take place next winter.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes of that as well. Like we mentioned off the top, today is going to be a very nice day. I've been seeing a lot more, speaking of deer, I've been seeing a lot more deer out and even some bunnies already. I think the animals are getting a little confused.
Yeah, I saw a bunny on our walk yesterday, in addition to the one we saw out in our own backyard. And the pond in our neighborhood had a few dozen geese on it yesterday. They're just probably confused too, flying back and forth, north and south.
Yeah, 50 is going to feel so nice today, and it is something that you'll want to kind of savor.
Yeah, it will be a little bit more windier though, winds up to 25 miles per hour. It was nice not to have those winds yesterday.
Yeah, those winds, just gearing up for those colder temperatures, and highs in the teens by this weekend, even some chances to snow for some snow to watch out for.
And a low of 3, that's going to feel cold, but it's still above 0. I mean, we've
It
had
is.
some Arctic blasts that last for days that are not that warm.
Right, it could be, it is January, so we have been a little spoiled by these temperatures, but yeah, I don't know, not ready for it to get that cold again.
Yeah, not really.
Well, we'll get out and enjoy today while we can.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Have a good one.